Here we are on the shore of Lake Washington in Seattle. I'm here with Sam Willen. She's a podcaster of Imperfection Wins, as well as an executive coach. She's a mother, she's a wife, and she's one of the nicest people that I've met. She's fantastic. One of the things that we want to talk about that really fits into making time to get out there and do activities and live a vibrant life is a little bit about who you choose to associate with. You know, you only have so much time in your life, and you only have so much time during your days. And you have some commitments around your family. Obviously, you want to spend time with them because that's one of the most, if not the most important nucleus in your life. But it turns out, you know, the relationships that you have with other people and friends that a lot of times get pushed to the side are some of the most important relationships as you grow older into your 40s, 50s, and 60s. And so, Sam, I'm hoping maybe we could talk a little bit about gains and drains.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we all have that one friend that every time we're around them, we actually feel a little cut down.
Yeah.
We feel a little less awesome.
Yeah.
And then you have a friend who's like really positive, and you leave that feeling energized, like you can conquer the world.
Yes.
Like, how do you identify who those folks are, and then how do you appropriately kind of allocate yourself, you know, time for these folks in your life?
You know, I will speak to it, but I am just going to also do a disclaimer. This is something I struggle with a lot, and it's not easy. You know, I think the whole gains and drains exercise that we talked about in the last video and making your stop doing list, you know, that certainly is, I think, the first step towards being intentional. And in that, you know, the intentionality around who you're hanging out with. And what's that saying? It's like you become like the 5 people that you hang out with the most. I always use that on my kids.
Oh,
I don't even
right?
know who said it, but it is a saying.
It's a thing?
It's
Is
a
it
thing.
a thing?
It's a thing.
All right.
And so, you know, it's something that I've really struggled with. And I think because I am a person who is I'm really like 100% relationship motivated. So I love connecting with people. It's my job. I love meeting new people. And when I'm with you, I'm with you. So one thing that I think I am able to do is, like, when I am with you, I'm present, and you have me.
Yeah.
Right. And
it's so interesting that you say that, because I remember the first time I met you where I got to spend more than 30 seconds with you, and yeah, your phone was down. You weren't looking all around or around the rest of the room. You were focused.
Yeah.
And it's such a big difference than what you typically see.
Yeah.
You know, somebody might be talking, they're looking over there, seeing what else is going on in the party, but you were there.
Yeah.
It was
and it's
great.
one of the great joys in my life. And it also, though, comes with some constant choices, because one of the things that happens is that I tend to sprinkle bits and pieces of myself in a lot of places.
Yeah.
And if I am, and what happens as a result of that, it's not a bad thing, because I'm able to meet awesome people like you and a lot of different people and unique people in my work and in my life, and I love that so much. But I think if you were to really ask a lot of the people that are closest to me, they don't get enough of me, and I don't give enough to them. And even though my intentions are good, I love them, I care for them, I think sometimes we tend to give the people that we care about the most the short end of the stick. And I think, and it's like I said, it's not an intentional thing. It is a product of some of my habits of sort of sprinkling myself everywhere.
Yeah.
And so, in terms of gains and drains, one of the things that I did recently was I sat down and I wrote a list of the people in my life that I feel the most connected to. And it's sort of, I always think about people, like when I'm hanging out with someone, in general, like I want them to leave me the same or better than when they found me, right? It's we can hang out and it can be net neutral, or like we can hang out and I'll feel much better. But if you make me feel much worse, we're not hanging out. Like,
well, it's interesting, and you and I have talked about this other aspect too. Different stages of your life, you need different kind of things.
Yeah.
So we both kind of embarked on a new project, right?
Yeah.
You started a little bit earlier than I did. And it was so interesting to see the response.
Yeah.
Like, some people were like, "Oh, that's the greatest."
Yeah.
Some people were like, "Oh, that's great." "Oh man, that's a stupid idea.
Totally.
That'll never work out." And then
Yes.
some people are just outright hostile.
Yes.
And you never get it.
Nope.
It was like, hey, is the world going to be a better place because
Yes.
Imperfection Wins is there?
Yes.
Or that Half-Life is there? I hope it is.
Hopefully.
I mean, you've gotten great comments.
Well,
I've gotten great comments.
I mean,
so it is.
Yeah.
So the people who are haters, for lack of a better
Yeah.
term, unfortunately, you gotta
Yeah.
kind of carve it out.
You got to have some boundaries, and I think especially when you are embarking on a new journey. And I think for me, when I sat down and made that list, and I had, I certainly had family on that list. My kids, my husband, my in-laws, my parents, and I definitely need to be much more intentional. I'm very intentional about spending time with my kids,
Right.
and I'm intentional about spending time with my husband. They're in my direct line. Right? It doesn't take a lot of effort for me to be intentional about them. My parents live an hour and a half away in Olympia. I'm not intentional enough about making them feel special. I'm just going to be honest about it.
Yeah,
My
right,
in-laws
right.
live in California. Same thing. I could call more. I could make them, feel like a bigger part of what I'm doing in my life. And it is a constant thing that I want to improve, and I'm committed to improving. And so I'm going to be really honest about where I'm at. But the other thing that emerged on that list were friends for me that are, I feel so blessed to have this just really awesome, beautiful network of friends that are they are true friends. They love me. They care about me. Some of them think this journey that I'm on with the podcasting is amazing, and some of them are a little leery of it, and that's okay because for
So long as
most
they're
of them,
believing in you,
yeah,
right?
I mean, most of them are coming. The ones that are leery are actually coming at it, I think, out of concern for me, more like, are you sure
Yeah,
you want to put
yeah.
yourself out there like this? And that's okay with me, but they're still supporters of me. And so when I looked at that list, my heart sank for a minute, because I looked at that list and I thought, most of these people, aside from my in-laws and my parents, most of these people live within walking distance of me, certainly
right.
within a 10-minute drive, and I see them rarely. And that means that they don't know maybe how important they are to me.
Yeah.
And
right.
so I read that list. I'm going to be intentional about that list. And I'm going to work at it. But it really takes that, right? And it also takes being strong enough to be real about the people that do take a lot out of you, or the people that aren't your supporters, or the people that you do leave and you feel like you've been in a drive-by, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
okay,
right.
like this is a choice I'm making to give this very precious commodity of time to someone, and it's up to me to draw those boundaries.
Yeah, and I think the thing that's really interesting and important to think about too is that, for those of us who have kids, eventually those kids go off to college.
Yes.
And then they start to have their own life.
Yes.
And then we're a little bit of a nuisance. We'll come and visit them and everything, but we're left on our own.
Yeah.
And if you haven't nurtured and developed and cultivated relationships with people, what are you going to do with your time?
Yeah.
I mean, your
Oh my
spouse may love you
gosh.
very much, but not that much. I'm going
Yeah.
to tell you right now. I know mine, she's 50-50 on it most days. And so you want a network of friends, at least, that you can go experience the world. If retirement is your thing and you want to travel, it'd be nice to have somebody to travel with.
Yeah.
If you want to keep working until the day you die, that's great too, but it's nice to have some people to go out to dinner with. And so identifying those people who are net positive, that bring positivity to your life, to put wind in your sails, to kind of help you achieve things that you think you can, but with their help you know you can. Those are the people you want to spend time with, and those net drainers that pull away from it. Even if you've known them a long time, it's difficult, but it's time to trim that a little bit and package that time into things that are more productive for you.
It's so true. Through your life, a lot of times your friends change.
Yeah.
And then you may have like a small core group that stay the same. But the people generally in my life that stay the same are actually the ones that are okay with me changing. Right?
Oh,
and so
interesting.
I think that's something that I have realized as I look back, and closest friends will actually be the ones that when you change, because we all change, right?
Yeah.
Like we're changing all
Constantly,
the time.
right?
The ones that allow you to change and are like, that's great, good for you. I'm excited for your new adventure.
Yeah.
I'm excited for your journey. And they're okay with it. And those are the ones to me that are the ones I hold on to the tightest, because they are the ones that make me feel like yes, you can do this and you can change, and I love you, and I think it's cool that you're
Yeah.
44 and like just learning how to do social media. Like, it's great. So
Yeah,
you got to
yeah.
have people that fill you up, that bring positivity, and that will just allow you to change.
Thank you so much, Sam.
Oh, thanks, Tim. So
Sam,
fun.
podcast Imperfection Wins. Check it out. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel right down there. If you like what you saw, give us a thumbs up, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again soon.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks.